Subscribe to the Gaming Time YouTube channel.
Welcome to episode 4 of the Beetlejuice My GM series. Remember to like and subscribe to support the channel. Here's a little recap from 2K22. All the tag team champions we had, which we didn't have any to go 3 times, but you see it. Let's get into the recap.
Love that shit.
It's recap time. We have our Universal Champion, Bret Hart at 6-2, one-time Universal Champion, one-time Slapnuts MVP. We have Bayley, who benefited the most off that Champions Don't Lose card, as she went from 1-4 to 6-4, straight up 5-0 last episode, one-time Women's Champ. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, doesn't have the best record, but he's still our Intercontinental Champion, 4-6, two-time Intercontinental Champion. We have the Dead Man, The Undertaker, with an impressive 5-1 record, one-time Tag Champion. We have John Cena, who, like The Undertaker, had an impressive last episode, turns things around, and now 6-4, two-time Universal Champion, one-time Tag Champ, one-time MVP. We have Asuka, our Tag Champ, at 6-2, one-time Tag Champ. We have Natalya, who started off looking amazing the first episode, now is 6-6, one-time Tag Champ, one-time MVP. We have Shinsuke Nakamura at 5-3, one-time Intercontinental Champion. The Rattlesnake Stone Cold did not wrestle at all last episode, so he stays at 4-3. We have Gigi at 4-4. We have Raquel Rodriguez, who was 1-0, now is 2-2, coming from NXT. We have the controversial Logan Paul at 3-7, two-time Universal Champion, one-time MVP, and Bret Hart just beat him down. Shayna won MVP last episode, but she also did not wrestle at all, so she stays at 4-5, but she is a one-time MVP now. We talked about Logan Paul getting beat down. We have Bianca Belair, who got beat down by Bayley, is now 4-7, one-time Women's Champion. We have The Miz, who has not been looking good since him and Hogan lost those tag titles, now 4-5, one-time Tag Champion. We have Hulk Hogan, who is not having a good season at all, 2-6, one-time Tag Champion. Didn't think we'd be saying this, but we brought back Lita. She goes 2-6, still having a tough time. We have the glorious Robert Roode, not looking glorious with a 3-7 record. It is time for the Slapnuts MVP awards for the men and women. For the male Slapnuts MVP winners, we have 2 this time. We've been seeing a lot of doubles. We have John Cena.
Now I'm about to shrink you down to size.
And his tag team partner, The Undertaker. Both had 3-1 records. Both stars added up to 10 for each man.
Your mouth's writing checks your ass can't cash.
And for the women's Slapnuts MVP, we have Bayley winning the award yet again. She kept on doing it in 2K22, and she does it in 2K23.
Life sucks, and then you die.
Okay, it's time to actually be a good GM. So we have injury rehab on Bianca Belair, try to get her back, send Bret Hart to the health spa. Had to think about it for a while, but Bret Hart, he has the biggest pop, needs that stamina, he's our champ. On to SmackDown, we didn't use Shayna last episode, so we put her in a triple threat with Gigi and Raquel, and Gigi picks up the win against Raquel and Shayna in a great match. The Undertaker cuts a promo, because he did say he's great on the mic. Hogan versus Austin, one-on-one, trying to start that rivalry, heel versus face. You know, we all wanted to see it. Didn't start a rivalry, though, very sad. Finally turned Shinsuke heel, probably too late. Cody versus Bobby Roode. And Cody Rhodes picks up the win and starts a rivalry, not the rivalry we wanted. We're having Bayley call out Asuka. It's time for Asuka to get a title shot. Cena versus The Miz, and Cena picks up the win. On to NXT, we have Carmella versus Dana Brooke in a tables match, and Carmella picks up the win. Can anyone stop Mella? Shotzi cuts a promo. Then we have Carmelo Hayes versus Dolph Ziggler one-on-one. Carmelo Hayes, starting a rivalry too. Then we have Cameron Grimes cutting a promo. Mace versus Aximum one-on-one. And Aximum picks the win against Mace. Picks up the win. That's what I meant to say. Ronda Rousey cuts a promo. Otis versus Randy Orton. And Otis picks up the win against the Viper. Ooh. On to Raw, we have a tables match. Kaden versus Karen one-on-one. And Karen picks up the win. Tyler Breeze has built her up like no other. Starts a rivalry. Akira Tozawa does some charity. Charlotte versus Becky. Champ versus Champ. Charlotte Flair picks up the win, starts yet another rivalry between the two. Mansoor cuts a promo. Rhea versus Nikki ASH, one-on-one. Who's going to pick up the win? We have Nikki picking up the win against Rhea Ripley. Cruz del Toro does some charity, and then we have Finn Balor defending his WWE title against Rick Boogs. He picks up the win and defends his title. Then you have Tyler Breeze still in the lead.
He ain't got no Mac for me.
Then we have Hulk Hogan coming up to Beetlejuice saying, "Listen, brother, I ran WCW into the ground. Let me run you into the ground. I want a main event." We say sure thing. Shayna wants a rematch against Gigi. We say sure. Triple threat Bailey versus Asuka versus Lita, trying to continue that Bailey and Asuka rivalry, but also boost up Lita. And we got it. We got to level 2. Hogan calls out Stone Cold, might have messed up there. Gigi versus Shayna, tables match, gave Shayna what she wanted, not her. Gigi picks up the win. Undertaker does some charity. Cena versus The Miz, really building up this rivalry. And Cena just can't lose to The Miz at all in a great match. Cody Rhodes does some charity. Then we have Bret Hart versus Logan Paul, one-on-one, no title. Bret Hart picks up the win. Hell in a Cell match to start off NXT. Dolph versus Carmelo Hayes, rematch from the last week. Carmelo Hayes continues to beat Dolph. Otis calls out an injured Randy Orton. Just leave Randy alone. MVP versus Hulk Hogan. They picked up their own Hulk Hogan. MVP picks up the win and starts a rivalry. Baller. Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo does charity. Ronda versus Beth Phoenix, one-on-one. The Glamazon picks up the win against Ronda. Shotzi cuts a promo. Aximum versus Mace backstage brawl. They're going at it one-on-one. Aximum picks up the win against Mace. Triple threat, Kaden, Karen, and Zia Lee. I hope I said that right. I don't know. Karen picks up the win. Ooh, and gets injured. That's going to upset Tyler. Mr. Higglesby. Gotta love Higglesby. I loved him last year. Apollo Crews loses to Drew Gulak. I didn't even get to say they were going one-on-one. Starts a rivalry. Finn cuts a promo how he's the best. Tamina goes one-on-one. Falls count to anywhere against Stacy Keibler. Picks up the win against Stacy. Poor Stacy. Mansoor cuts a promo. Then we have tag team action. Becky, Nikki versus Rhea and Charlotte. And Nikki just doesn't help Becky. We're close to taking that lead. We are.
Love that shit.
We have Tyler Breeze yet again, just attacking us. Double cost. Then we have The Undertaker. We just got hit with double cost. We thought about telling The Undertaker to take a pay cut, and we do. He's not happy about it, but, you know, we're trying to save up that money. Triple H tells us Tyler Breeze screwed us over. Hogan's upset. Won't lie, if he started a rivalry with Austin the week before, he would have had the main event. That's on you, Hogan, not on me. Brett wants a match tonight. Haven't used The Undertaker, so we slide him in with a triple threat with Logan and Bret Hart. Did GM interference because Logan wanted it. This was the final week to do it. Cody does some charity. Helped Logan win, by the way. Asuka versus Shayna. Bailey runs in, costs Asuka the match. Building up Asuka, possibly double champ. Lita does some charity. Hogan versus Austin, one-on-one. Now that they have a rivalry, and Austin yet again beats Hogan. Just the rattlesnake is just going crazy, brother. Robert does charity. Cena versus The Miz yet again. Cena just can't lose to The Miz. On to NXT, we have Beth Phoenix versus Shotzi Iron Woman's match. Beth Phoenix picks up the win, starts a rivalry. Oof, they're loving Beth Phoenix. Last man standing, MVP versus Aximum. MVP picks up the win against Aximum. Ooh. Then you have Mace versus Roddy Piper, one-on-one, and Piper picks up the win. NXT is loving their legends. We're too broke to afford anymore, though. Dana versus Carmella, rematch. Steel cage, Mella still can't lose. We have Becky versus Charlotte yet again. Champion versus champion, and Charlotte picks up the win. Maybe it's not Nikki's fault. Maybe it's Becky. Tyler adds Rich Irikawa? I don't know. Self-promo. Mr. Higglesby in action, but he loses to Akira Kazawa. Oh, no. He loves his enhancement talent. Drew calls out Apollo. Liv runs in on Tamina versus Kaden Carter. Doesn't matter. Tamina picks up the win. Then we have yet another enhancement talent with Clay Cortman does some charity. Title match, Finn versus Eric after Finn was talking all that trash. Ooh, but Eric does not let Finn get all the titles. He wins, and we're at the top.
I have some Beetle notes.
You look like a superstar.
You look like a superstar. You look great today.
We have Xavier Woods hitting up Beetlejuice, telling us he's been watching SmackDown. He starts talking trash, saying why would people watch SmackDown over NXT? And it's maybe because we're better. Then we have Logan Paul being appreciative of what Beetlejuice did. Bret Hart gets upset at us, which I'm sorry, Bret. We said at the beginning of the episode, trying to be a better GM, you know? Don't want to lose money, so we're buying contracts, using it up on our legends. We're getting back at Tyler Breeze. He want to use double cost on us. Now we're going to double cost him. We continue to be a good GM. Use that contract we bought earlier. We use it on Stone Cold. We don't want to run out of money this early. Fatal 4-way, Cena, Miz, Austin, Hogan, trying to build up two rivalries. And Miz picks up the win. We got it. We got both rivalries. Miz needed a fatal 4-way to win. Cody does some charity. Bailey versus Asuka. Asuka wants to be a double champ. Bailey does not want to let that happen. But maybe it's Asuka's time. Undertaker does yet another charity, another fatal four-way. Lita, Gigi, Raquel, and Natalia. And Natalia picks up the win, trying to boost up some people. And we started a rivalry and continued a rivalry. Charity for Bianca. Title match, Logan versus Brett. One-on-one, and Logan, after we helped him, finally picks up the win. We have Mace versus Axum, last man standing on NXT, and Mace picks up the win after that backstage brawl. Amazing match. MVP calls out Hogan after they've done nothing with that. Shotzi versus Beth Phoenix, and Shotzi beats the red hot Beth Phoenix. Mediocre match though. Carmella does some charity after winning all those matches. Carmelo Hayes versus Dolph Ziggler, going right back to that, and Dolph finally picks up the win against Carmelo Hayes. Ronda Rousey does a self-promo. Randy comes back from injury, immediately steel cage match against Cameron Grimes. Randy Orton picks up the win. Where is Otis? On to Raw, we have a tag team match, Rhea and Charlotte versus Becky and Nikki. Will Becky hold back Nikki? And she does, as Rhea and Charlotte pick up the win, continues their rivalry. Rich calls out Rick Boogs, the Battle of the R's. Drew, Apollo, Edge, and Clay. Edge picks up the win in the Fatal 4-Way and gets injured. Tamina does a promo. Then we have Akira Tozawa versus Mr. Higglesby. Trying to build that up, Tyler, but why? As Akira Tozawa picks up the win. Rick Boogs cuts a promo why he's better than Rich. Finn defends his other title with Cruz del Toro, and he defends against Eric and Braun. We're going to go hard at the pay-per-view. We're going to win.
I got a lot wrong, brother.
Lita lets us know her contract's running up. We let her go last time, so we're definitely keeping her this time. We re-sign Lita. We have Asuka saying she's tired of losing, wants to win, so that means she has to win the title. Bret Hart's not happy he lost his title. He wants a rematch against Logan. He got it. We continue to make money moves. We pick up a golden contract so we could give one of our legends even more matches so we don't have to pay them. We save some money. We give to Hogan because we know he's going to make us bankrupt. On to Backlash. We have Logan versus Bret. TLC match. Logan won the title and immediately loses it to Bret Hart in a legendary match. Bret gets injured for 3 weeks, though, and Logan gets injured for 3 weeks. Stone Cold does some charity. Gigi versus Raquel versus Natalia. Tables match. Trying to build up some of our wrestlers. Natalia had nothing to do. Gigi picks up the win in a great match, or was it amazing? I don't know. Miz does some charity. Robert Roode versus Cody Rhodes. IC title. Cody Rhodes picks up the win in a classic win. Then we have Lita doing some charity after Cody Rhodes won it all. Taker and Cena defend their tag titles against Hogan and Nakamura this time. No Miz. Amazing match. They defend their titles. Bianca does some charity. This is it. Asuka wants to win. It's a mission. Bayley versus Asuka. And Bayley is ready for Asuka. On to NXT, we have Dolph versus Carmelo Hayes, ending their rivalry, and Carmelo Hayes picks up the win. It doesn't end their rivalry. It's an okay match, though. Veer does a promo. I forgot all about Veer. They haven't booked Veer or Brock. Beth versus Shotzi, one-on-one. Shotzi picks up the win, has Beth's number. Okay match. MVP calls out Hogan yet again. Then we have Zia Lee versus Ali Brawler, one-on-one, and Lee picks up the win in a disappointing match. This is why NXT is bad. When Xavier Wood runs it. Carmella calls out Dana. Otis and Cameron Grimes beats Randy and Hogan. Starts a rivalry. Chyna does a self-promo. Mace versus Axum versus Piper. Triple threat match, and Mace picks up the win. Whoo, classic. Women's title on the line. Tables, Charlotte versus Becky versus Stacy Keibler, and Charlotte Flair's a double champ as she injures Becky. Nikki ASH cuts a promo. Rich versus Rick, one-on-one. Who's the better, Rick or R? I don't know. Rick Boogs picks up the win in a mediocre match. Liv calls out Tamina. Akira Tozawa versus Mr. Higglesby. And Akira Tozawa just continues to beat up poor Mr. Higglesby, the janitor. Tamina cuts a promo. Eric versus Razor Ramon, one-on-one. And Ramon picks up the win against the new WWE champion. Finn was trying to win it all. He didn't do it. Rhea calls out Nikki. Drew versus Apollo Iron Man match. Main event. Ooh, amazing. We dominated this episode. We have a huge lead.
Beetlejuice, baby. Beetlejuice.
We have Asuka upset she lost, which it's not our fault you can't win, Asuka. Just do better. I mean, you had such a great run. Now you're just losing. Bret, we upset him with interfering, but now he's happy he's a champ and he got his rematch clause, so everything's good. Yet again, we didn't get any good shakeups. We didn't get gold or anything. So we look at that steel cage fever and we're thinking about it. We're like, we want to build that fan advantage. All we got to do is book a steel cage. So we're like, that's the answer. So we're going right for that. The steel cage fever to just separate us even more from NXT and Monday Night Raw.